Hello everyone once again. I am Father Time, and I'm just here to show you some of the progress on the new addition to the Dystopia mod for Minecraft. And for those of you who have not been following the progress of this, I'm working on adding satellites to the mod. Basically what the satellites will be responsible for is things like thermal mapping, topical maps, communication with radios, and et cetera, et cetera. This is only day 2 of production, so leaves a lot to be expected still. However, some of the progress is if you've seen the previous video, you'll know you'll see what they are. But I'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to add is, as you can see, it's now textured. This is just a throw together texture. I still have some more work to do. I got the solar panels. I like the arms and how they work. The body's still plain. The same way how you saw like how the wings go down like that. That's an animation. That'll actually be something that's triggered. It'll be part of the interface of this. So once you get it up into the atmosphere, you're going to have to tell it to deploy to start getting electricity. It won't till then. And also, so the same way that those bend down like that, these legs will retract up into the body of the satellite. So those legs will only come out when it's landing or when it's on the ground. So that's one of the upgrades that still need to come. But as you can see, that is the satellite. So what I've been working on is its flying logic. Anybody who's ever worked with mods, you might know that there is no actual just normal flying AI. Pathfinding and all that in Minecraft only works for things that walk along the ground. So everything that flies like bats and ghasts all have their own logic. So I had to create my own for these as well, which is exactly what I've done. So at this point, the only logic they really have, though, is the understanding of how to fly up and get up to altitude and things of that nature. So that's one of the things I've worked on, and I'll show you right now, is they will fly up to altitude, and then what I've done is I've given them a very small fuel tank. So the second they get up to altitude, they're going to run out and crash back down so you can see what that behavior is like. So I'll go ahead and tell it to fly off now. Bye! And as you can see, I added smoke particles to it. It's still lacking sound effects, so I need to get those like whatever rocket blast sounds go. So it's going to go off on its merry little way, and we'll just go ahead and watch what happens. So right now it's got about enough fuel to get up to, I'd say, 50 blocks before it comes screaming down to Earth. Oh, there it goes. And when they hit, they explode. I guess something coming out of high orbit falling to the Earth would do just that. So that's some of the additions. The particle effect. Anyone who watched the previous one, the skin's new, particle effects from when it's flying's new. You notice it can tell when it's on the ground or when it's flying or hovering or anything like that. And the explosions when they are destroyed is new. The reason I have a bow and arrow on me is pretty obvious, I would think. I wanted it to be if you have an enemy satellite around you and you need it to come down, you can do just that. You can start picking on it, and it will blow up out of midair. So satellites can be destroyed. They're not invulnerable, and I will make special tools that can seek and destroy satellites. But you can also kill them by normal means. It's just I would highly advise not doing it with a sword for obvious reasons. If they go boom, there's more than a good chance that you'll probably kill yourself in the process. Die! Oh, yeah! So, not advisable. And then, let's see, what else is there to show? I feel like there was something else. I guess the only other thing that I know that I have to show, it's not in the actual game yet, but I have been working on their interfaces. So there's going to be two different interfaces. One will be when you actually click the satellite itself. That's how you'll put in the fuel and upgrade the chips in it that allow it to, search for or do the thermal imaging and all that. But then there'll be one that's like a little remote control of how you control it once it's in the upper orbit, and that's what this is. So basically what it'll be, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but these will be text inputs for X and Z coordinates to get it to navigate where you want it to go. And then if I remember them correctly, it'll be a launch, land, or actually it'll be navigate, launch, land, and what was this last one? Man, my notes are in my pocket, but yeah, I can't remember what that last one is. And then the way these will work is this will be called mode. So when you click this button here, this window will switch between whatever modes are available. Modes will be those chips that you put in the satellite itself. So if I had, say, a surveillance chip and a thermal imaging chip, I could switch between seeing a thermal image of the map below me and the communication, the chat that's happening in that area. But I can't see both at once. I have to toggle between what mode I want to see. This meter on the left here will be the electricity that's in the satellite. Satellites are going to work off of electricity as well as fuel. So the difference is the fuel is what's used for its thruster. So that's what you use to launch it, to land it, and to keep it in orbit and navigate. And then the electric side is what's used when you're actually using those interfaces, like say thermal imaging. So it's going to have a battery power on it, like a battery tank, and when you deploy those wings will charge that tank up. The way it's going to work is by sunlight. You can get the sunlight level of an air block, which is what it's in, so each time it tries to charge itself, it'll just look to see how bright it is. At nighttime, it won't charge at all, so you're going to either need to use your thermal imaging or whatever that case may be, scarcely, or whatever that might even be an upgrade we do, is put a larger energy battery on it so it can run all night long. What else? Oh, and then this left side, as you saw, I can shoot it. They have 10 life, so each one of these bars represents one of its health. They're not like normal entities, they won't regen, so when it gets damaged, you have to ultimately land it and repair it, and or it will just blow up. So that's what this interface will be. And then again, that will be from kind of like, if we go back into game here, this is what we are getting ready to replace. I actually called it infrared, and it's not, it's thermal, but that's another subject. So basically, kind of like how this item is, you'll right-click this item, and that will bring up this GUI in-game, as opposed to right now, the way it works, as you can see, when I am holding the item, I get the mini-map in the upper corner. So what will happen is that mini-map in the upper corner will ultimately, I believe, be replaced by this in-game screen here. So what's being rendered right there in the corner will be what's rendered in this square here. So yeah, and then and then as we said, you would right-click this item to open up that menu, or you can right-click this guy, and that will open up a different menu to put the fuel and the chips in. I've not worked on that menu yet, though. So yeah, it's coming along. Obviously it's still in the logic of getting things to fly in Minecraft is not easy because things don't want to fly in Minecraft. So there's still some, things to be worked on. Oh, I forgot. The other things are just kind of mechanical issues that I've worked out to get these working like they should. Like for instance, you'll notice if I put this block down, put one of these, spawn one of them in. Well, hello. You did not like being next to that block. Actually, I didn't need to necessarily do that. But if I put one down, you'll notice that they are there. Like I got their bounding boxes working properly, so if I go into this view, I can't push it. It's too heavy for me to push. The wings I decided not to make part of their clipping model because, it would be really hard to navigate it like that. This thing is its body is 1 block in size, so that's really the only thing I want them to worry about. If they crash the main fuselage into a mountain or another satellite, then it'll take damage. But I figured, give them a break. Don't worry about the wings. So yeah, I can't walk through it, and then I can't push it, and I've obviously made it so that they are completely stable objects. So if I want to, I can even stand on it. So in that sense, that's really what I've mainly been focusing on right now, is the main logistics of these things, actually getting them to work like a real entity in the world, and getting rid of that fucking nameplate that was above them. They used to say satellite above them, and that drove me nuts. Turned out it was a problem with my custom renderers. There's a whole other function that you can override, but I digress. Wow, those guys really went off. So yeah, that's basically where the progress is. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, whatever the case may be, go ahead and post along and let me know. For now, let's just launch a whole bunch of these fuckers for giggles, right? All right, my fleet, go, 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 go! Oh, and they move slow as molasses. That's one of the things that is going to be different, is their takeoff will be just like a space rocket, so they'll start slow and then really quickly up. But that's going to be their speed of their navigation, like, because in upper atmosphere, they're going to move really slow to the... Oh, God, I forgot they come back down. Oh, God. Short-sightedness. All right, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll talk to you later.